A very good morning to all. Today we are moving on to the 6th chapter, and the name of the chapter is How Do Animals Increase in Number? So here you can see some pictures. You can see the pictures of some animals and their young ones. So what's the first picture? You can see here the dog and its puppy. Then here you can see the duck and its ducklings. Then what about this one? Hen and its chicks. Then here you can see the lion and its cubs. So here in this picture you can see different animals and their young ones. So animals produce young ones. So animals can reproduce. So all living things have the ability to reproduce or give birth to young ones. That we call it as reproduction. So all living things have the ability to reproduce or give birth to young ones of their own kind. We call it as reproduction. So reproduction is one of the most important activities of living organism, and all living things have the ability. Let it be the animals, the human beings, they have the ability to reproduce their young ones of their own kind. So in this chapter, we will be learning about the reproduction of animals. How animals reproduce their young ones. So, animals reproduce their young ones in two ways. You know which are they? The first one is by laying eggs, and the other way is by giving birth to young ones. So they reproduce by giving birth to their young ones or by laying eggs. So today we are going to discuss about the egg-laying animals. How animals reproduce their young ones by laying eggs. So there are many animals like the fish, frog, lizard, crocodiles, and all kinds of birds reproduce their young ones by laying eggs. So all these animals reproduce their young ones by laying eggs. So where do these young ones grow? These young ones grow inside the egg. So these young ones grow inside the egg. And once they are fully developed, it breaks open the eggshell and it comes out, which we call it as hatching. That process we call it as hatching. And where do these animals lay eggs? So there are animals that lay eggs in water, even there are animals that lay eggs in the soil, and even there are animals that lay eggs on plants. So you know which are animals lay eggs in water. Animals like fish, frog, they lay eggs in water. And these eggs hatch on their own after some days. And there are insects like the butterflies and moth. They lay eggs on plants. And what about animals like snake, tortoise? All these animals lay eggs in the soil. They take the warmth from the sun and they hatch on their own after some days. So animals lay eggs in the soil or on plants or in water. So these are egg-laying animals. Then we learnt that all birds lay eggs. So all birds lay eggs. So do you know there are about 9,000 species of birds are in this world that develops from an egg. So the life of a bird begins in an egg. So you all have seen birds building their nest, right? So why do they build their nest? They build their nest to lay eggs. And you all have seen an egg. And the egg has a hard shell that protects the young ones inside it. And what happens after that? The mother bird or the parent bird sits on their eggs and keep them warm. So that process we call it as incubation. So you may all think, why is it so important? Why do they do so? Is incubation important? Yes, this process is very, very important. If the mother birds do not incubate, their young ones do not grow inside the egg. So incubation is very, very important. The warmth of the mother bird makes sure that the young ones are developing inside the egg. So this process of incubation is very important. If they do not incubate, what happens? The young ones do not grow inside the egg. So after incubation, because of incubation, these young ones grow inside the egg. And once they are fully developed, what happens? It breaks open the hard shell and it comes out. And that process is called as hatching. And these mother birds take care of them. These mother birds feed them, take care of them until they are able to fly. So the life of a bird begins in an egg. So this is about the life cycle of a bird. So today we discussed about reproduction of animals. So all living things have the ability to reproduce their young ones. That will be animals or human beings. They have the ability to reproduce or give birth to young ones. So animals reproduce in two ways. Which are they? By giving birth and by laying eggs. There are animals that lay eggs in water. There are animals that lay eggs in the soil. Even there are animals that lay eggs on plants. Then we learned about the life cycle of a bird. So I hope you all understood this topic. So let's meet in the next class. So till then, thank you.